Interstellar Marines is a very ambitious project. With the developer 0 Point Software working hard on adding new features and fixing old bugs, the game is developing slowly but very steadily. The game was first announced in 2005 and has had many major setbacks since then, which is one of the main reasons why the game isn't out yet. On July 2nd of this year, the game was released on Steam Early Access. Since then, every month the developer has been releasing a new update. The latest is Update 6. While in no way is the game qualified to be called a finished project, it is playable and is in fact a fun and very solid first-person shooter. Zero Point Software has put a lot of effort into the look and feel of Interstellar Marines. Even though the game is in early development, the style is already defined and has a nice feel. Every map looks like they belong to the same universe, which is something that is hard to pull off. Each map has its own set of dynamic events. What this means is that after a few minutes in each game, the map's weather or lighting will change into a new environment. This is handled nicely, and even though the same events repeat when you play a match, it's enjoyable to just step back and watch the process. Every player has the ability to open their mask on their helmets. While this doesn't have a purpose other than to increase visibility during storms, it's a nice touch which helps refine the style of the game. During darker moments, I would have to use my flashlight to maneuver around the map, and these are when the matches are most intense. You can shine your light around, but if the enemy sees your light, you give them the upper hand in scoring a kill. This is a multiplayer-only game at this point. Added in this latest update, Interstellar Marines now contains a domination game mode, which replaces the previous team deathmatch. This isn't necessarily much of an improvement, but it does give the players more of a motivation to win. The gameplay works together in many cases with the visual effects. As the dynamics change in each map, you have to alter your strategy to cope with these new changes. This makes for an engaging and thrilling experience. Seeing an enemy flashlight shine right before he enters into a room gives you just enough time to hide against the wall and take him down as he enters. It's moments like these which makes Interstellar Marines different than other first-person shooters. With all that said, there are issues that need to be and probably will be addressed and fixed in future updates. Sometimes when you kill an enemy, it's hard to tell whether you killed him or not because there's no indication of that, except a small text that appears on the top of the screen. And even though ragdolls replace the once-alive player, that split second of confirmation makes all the difference when there's more than one enemy attacking you at the same time. Also, at many points I would have trouble deciding whether the player I see is an enemy or a friend. Since each player appears wearing the same armor, it's very difficult to tell the difference. Sometimes this can lead to frustration, and the 15 to 20 second respawn time doesn't help that at all. I understand that the developers are trying to avoid spawn killing, but the respawn time could be decreased slightly to help with the flow of the match. Everything looks great and the combat is solid. There are very little features, but for what's already there, it's impressive what the developers have managed to pull off. I'm sure the future updates will solve many of the problems that I've stated, but what 0 Point Software is more than capable at doing is fixing a problem by finding a solution that can fit with the style of Interstellar Marines and make sure it's a clever one too. The game has a bright future, and I have full faith that 0 Point Software will be able to pull it off. If you haven't purchased the Early Access key yet, you can do so on Steam. Every purchase encourages 0 Point Software to continue developing Interstellar Marines, and because they are mostly funded by pre-orders, it will help them more than you think.